Chicago, welcome to the front of the congregation. I heard that what is his name? Brandon Johnson is feeling a certain type of way. Oh, we got a good show lined up for y'all today. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Also, make sure that you tap into that Teach pack. They got a whole new gift bag for us. So anybody that's ordering Teach Hanley right now and you messing with something else, you missing out on Teach because they gave me the special. I'm going to actually show you some of the stuff that they're going to be sending us when you get your new Teach subscription. If you have not already got your Teach subscription, that link is in the description. Don't mess with nobody else's Teach. Let's rock out with Teach here. And then again, I dropped the video inside of the Patreon yesterday, and then I'm going to confirm. I'm going to support additional content with additional content inside of the Patreon. Let's get it. The Chicago mayor is feeling some type of way. I want to share with y'all a video or a couple different videos of what it is that you guys are facing out here in Chicago. And then we're going to deep dive into it. So shout out to the Chicago mayor. I heard he wanted to run in the Victim Olympics, and so we're going to bring him to the front of the congregation and have a conversation. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Let's get it popping, y'all.
Well, good morning. Both the mayor and the interim police superintendent say they want to take a more focused look at the crime here in Chicago.
And that's what we're working on. Getting to know those areas that we need to focus on, getting to know those blocks even that we need to focus on.
Chicago has suffered a great deal of pain, and all of us have experienced that pain for a very long time in Chicago. And it's one of the motivations that led me to this office.
The response.
Suber, send me that article. Send me that article, Suber. So here's the thing. The Chicago mayor, and this is going to get a little bit more spicy, so go ahead and buckle up, y'all. The Chicago mayor is addressing the criticisms that people are levying against him and what's going on inside of the city after the previous weekend, the Memorial Day weekend, it had 50 plus shootings, including a 2-year-old all the way up into a 77-year-old. Wild, I know. Absolutely wild. Meanwhile, he was on a tour, on a picnic tour, instead of shoring up the resources in order to ensure crime is stopped so that you make it safer for businesses to come into the city. Economics 101. And he's now levying criticism after another bloody weekend in which dozens of people allegedly had succumbed to gun violence again in Chicago. Let's continue. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to definitely be reading super chats throughout the show.
Coming after 10 people were killed over the weekend, with 36 more injured in shootings. At least a dozen more were shot yesterday.
Look at the scene right there, first of all, y'all. Look at the scene. They talk about killing in Chicago like it's a third world country. Like it's just normal. Killing in Chicago is like breathing. The better story would be, or the more explosive story is if there was one weekend where nobody got shot, nobody killed in Chicago, that would just absolutely blow our minds. Like, it's so normal to see shell casings, caution tape, and police surroundings and blue and red lights around you in these videos. Just 10 people just randomly killed in Chicago. Just randomly shot. 10. After a 50-plus weekend on Memorial Day weekend. They holidays is killing holidays. How can the mayor have any criticism for people that criticize leadership inside of a liberal city that is really a third world country? How can he sit here and have anything to say except for, we got to do better?
Today with one deadly shooting. Officers say last night around 7, a shot spotter notification sent police to the 5900 block of South Ashland. Police there found one man shot in the arm in a car leaving that shooting scene. Police claim someone in that car fired shots at a marked squad car. That car crashed a short time later in the 5900 block of South Wells. 5 people were taken into custody. 2 of them, according to police, had been shot, one in the chest. It's unclear where the other man had been shot. Police report they did not fire any shots during the incident.
Is this a Rambo movie? Yo, honestly, this sounds like a Sylvester Stallone Expendables or a Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando movie. This sounds insane. This literally sounds insane.
Mayor Johnson campaigned on taking a holistic approach to fighting crime, which included adding more detectives to the ranks, working with faith and community leaders, as well as reopening trauma centers and mental health centers. The mayor responded to those critical of his early approach to trying to get control of the violence in the city.
I think it's important that we're reflective about our approach towards public safety. What I find disingenuous is where were these individuals when schools were being shut down and closed?
What? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Listen to this guy.
Do they have a critique then?
And one alderman reminded reporters yesterday that we still have 12 weeks of summer to go, so the city really needs to reassess its strategy for.
It's going to be a bloody summer in Chicago. Let's continue because he wasn't done there. He gave a speech to galvanize the people. You just got to laugh at some of this stuff, man. It's so funny.
We're not going to allow the press or the media to dictate who our young people are. And
speaking to a group of business leaders today, Mayor Johnson took aim at the quote-unquote media, although he didn't say who he was specifically referring to.
Our political editor Mike Flannery joins us now with more on this. Mike?
Well, here's a fuller version of what the mayor said, so that you can understand what he was referring to there after he said that jobs were his #1 priority.
The #1 priority in Chicago should be getting tougher on crime. And it's all a trickle-down effect. Get tougher on crime, then businesses would want to invest in the communities because then they will see an opportunity for them to actually make money and not have sky-high insurance rates. If you get tougher on crime and then you fix your schools, everything else follows.
that's the best thing that you can offer to the people of Chicago. Not criticism, not demonization, not a city that is divided over whether or not young people should be seen or heard. We're not going to allow the press or the media to dictate who our young people are. In fact, I'll say it again. If you don't live in Chicago and you're not offering up solutions, stop talking about us.
Nope. Nope. Let me tell you exactly what we're going to do. He sounds like a modern woman. He sounds just like these modern women, these single baby mamas that be giving advice on the internet every day about who it is that black men are and how it is that they should move. They'll sit there and tell passport bros, no, don't go where you celebrate it. Don't go where you celebrate it. Go where we can continue to hold you accountable for things that we're doing in our own community. Come and hang out with us and offer us up a solution. Man, you're not about to get me killed. I am going to criticize you. Listen, you might be, Brendan Johnson, worse than Lori Lightfoot. And that's saying something. You might be worse than Lori Lightfoot. We bringing shaming back into the media. The beautiful thing about social media today is what can you do about it? It ain't that you're going to allow anything. You cannot allow anything. We're going to say whatever we want to say. And when we see 50 plus people getting killed over the weekend and they look like us, and then 10 more people shot the next weekend and they look like us, it's not the media. We just reacting to the results. Listen, if there was nothing to react to and you don't see me reacting to what's going on in Iowa or Boise, Idaho. Detroit, Baltimore, Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, you want a chopping block. You want a chopping block.
Now, you all know I'm sanctified. I really wanted to cuss there, but I was raised better.
Nothing like a good sanctified, saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost joke to go in there and galvanize the people and the business leaders of tomorrow.
The facts are that 10 killings last weekend were the most in 5 years during the first weekend of June, and a few days earlier, Memorial Day weekend was the bloodiest in 8 years. Now,
The bloodiest in 8 years. That's how they inaugurated you.
Johnson was sworn in on May 15th. A city council member that Johnson and the Chicago Teachers Union tried unsuccessfully to defeat in the last election told me he's optimistic that the mayor's actual anti-crime policies will be more pragmatic than his rhetoric.
We're not going to defund the police. All that stuff is campaign rhetoric. If we don't have public safety, then the resident.
Campaign rhetoric. It's all campaign rhetoric. The very things that they promise when they get elected is all campaign rhetoric, AKA they lie to you.
Of Chicago are not going to feel safe, and ultimately it's going to impact economic development.
Now, I did reach out to the mayor's office asking which specific press or media outlets the mayor was criticizing there. If we do get a response, we'll let you know on our later broadcast. We'll have more.
So, shout out to Brendan Johnson, off to a much worse start than Lori Lightfoot, who I like to affectionately refer to as Beetlejuice. And shout out to the people of Chicago that continue to elect their officials based off of campaign rhetoric and lies and talking points that don't actually help the community.